That moment when you forget your thermal paste. 500%. Yes. So, let's make sure that doesn't happen again with this guide on how to make homemade thermal paste. So what is thermal paste exactly? Well, thermal paste helps the CPU from overheating. As you see in the diagram on the right, there's the heatsink and the CPU. And in between there's some space. That space is where thermal paste is put into to make sure that the heat transfers from the CPU to the heatsink. So, what's inside the paste? Well, inside the paste we have zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, which helps in some household items. So, how to make it at home? What we'll need is 7 grams of toothpaste, 7 grams of sunscreen, and 7 grams of petroleum jelly. The petroleum jelly is there to ensure there's electrically insulation. It should be noted that during the time of this recording, our ambient temperature is at 27 degrees Celsius. For this trial, we'll be using 7 grams of toothpaste and 3 grams of petroleum jelly. So what you're going to want to do next is mix your toothpaste into the thing. Make sure we drop that all. Get everything in there. Plus our petroleum jelly. So we're going to mix it for a while. Make sure we get everything in there. And you should be getting a consistent color like this. So now we're going to keep on mixing, and then I'll show you the next step. So before we even start getting into the CPU, we first have to take out this, which is a CPU sink. And the only way you take this out is there's 2 screws here and here. After you take those screws off, you simply pull this back and pull. Right there. So what you want to do now is get your alcohol, rubbing alcohol would be preferred, and pour some to your Q-tip. Make sure you get some. And what you want to do is make sure you get that CPU cleaned. You also don't want to forget to clean your heatsink too, because that some goo is also left over some there. So make sure you clean that too. For this test, we're going to be using the P method to spread the CPU apart. Basically, the P method is you just place just a little P shape on. Make sure it's the size of a rice on the center of the CPU. After that, you're good to go. So after leaving it for 20 minutes, we realized that it comes to, the temperature has gone up to 69 degrees, which doesn't seem like much of change from our last test measure. So let's see how our toothpaste coming out of the heat sink. Remember, pull it back and lift up. As you might see here, looks like the toothpaste didn't get much of it. Looks like our little thermal paste that we cleaned off last time. Now we're going to clean it up with some isopropyl alcohol and see how it turns out. For our second trial, we will be using 3 grams of petroleum jelly and 8 grams of sunscreen. So as we did like our first trial, we're going to start mixing our sunscreen Pour in there. And our petroleum jelly. Since you got those two things mixed. So after some time, you should have consistency looking type pasty gel. As we did in our last example, we will be applying a little right shape to pea size paste on our CPU as our little test mark. So once we apply a sort of pea shape thing, we're going to put back our CPU block and test it again. So after 20 minutes of the stress test, we see that the final temperature is around 67 degrees. Sweet. So, post-lab analysis. Did I expect the outcome I got? I actually was quite surprised with the outcome. I didn't believe that the sunscreen with Vaseline was going to work, because sunscreen doesn't have that much titanium dioxide within it to create a thermal conduction. But honestly, I was quite surprised. And also, I wanted to note that these are temporary solutions. These are not meant to be permanent. Because after the toothpaste and Vaseline solution, I left it out for a while, and when I came back to it, I realized that rust started to form, which is not quite good in metal, and especially in the computer. Rust is a big no-no. So, did I enjoy my work? I quite actually did. I had fun using I like to thank Edwards for letting me use the FDR booth, and also. So, things I could work on for next lab, I guess, would be open up to more sources. Like, I don't want to just use sunscreen and toothpaste. Maybe I want to go up and actually using some foods or something that could actually work. Make a little smoothie, perhaps. But also, I would like to expand on actually overclocking this computer, because right now, as far as the experiment went, I did not overclock it, which didn't cause that much thermal output. So overclocking would have done significant change to this lab. So, thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. Editing's gonna be a biatch.